Here's a preview of what you'll hear on this episode of Beyond the Wheel.
On the residential side, if you think about heavy urban environments where there's apartments and all that kind of stuff, heck, you can pick it up in the lobby, get it into the elevator, get it up to your place. Now, when you leave, you still have the same. You can't put it back in the box.
Now enjoy the show.
You are listening to Beyond the Wheel, a podcast about the people and ideas that drive the RV community forward.
Looking to get out there and stay out there? Battleborn Batteries lithium-ion batteries are here to power your RV, marine, and off-grid adventures. Designed as an easy drop-in replacement for traditional lead-acid batteries, these reliable solutions have 2 to 3 times the power, charge 5 times faster, are a fifth of the weight, and last 10 times longer. Offered in a variety of models in unique sizes and shapes, ranging from 50 amp hour to a robust 270 amp hour, and backed by a 10-year warranty. Battleborn batteries are built to fit your needs and power your experiences. On the road, on the water, and off the grid, reliable power is here. Check them out at battlebornbatteries.com.
If you are as delicate of a sleeper as the princess in The Princess and the Pea fairy tale, this episode is for you. We are talking with Chris, an executive vice president at BedInABox, about their made in the USA foam mattresses. The company even makes the foam used to build the mattresses. Kenny and I are excited to learn about the manufacturing process and the quality testing that goes into making an RV mattress worthy of a good night's sleep after a long day on the road. Also, stay tuned to the end of the interview for a special discount code for our listeners. Now, let's get into the episode.
Hey, Chris, welcome to the show. We appreciate you taking the time to come on and chat with us. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your role at BedInABox, and your role with Sleepdog?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate the opportunity. So, I've been with my current company for 20 years. And we are a polyurethane foam manufacturer. And I'm currently the executive vice president of consumer products, which covers both the BedInABox brand and the Sleepdog brand. Personally, I was contacted by the pioneers of BedInABox back in 2004. Reached out to me and had this wild idea about putting beds in boxes and sending them to people. And I said, it'll never work, but, I've got a hole in my schedule next Tuesday. Why don't I come over and see you and we can talk? So we did. And I liked what they were trying to do. And about 6 prototypes later, we launched BedInABox, shipped our first beds in early 2005. So as e-commerce bedding goes and rolling up beds and putting them in boxes, I've probably got as long as, if not more, experience in this industry than just about anyone else. As I said, so I've been doing it for this particular part of the industry for 19 years. Based on customer demand and discussions with customers and requests for different types of beds, in 2009 we decided to develop our beds specifically designed for sleeper cabs for over-the-road truckers. And then hence Sleepdog was born. We operate them as 2 separate, completely separate brands, completely separate websites. There's a few products that travel across, but we market to 2 completely different buyers, if you will, for each site. Hence the benefit of keeping them separately. So currently, we manufacture everything for both brands in Mount Airy, North Carolina. That's Mayberry for people who wonder about exactly where we are. So birthplace of Andy Griffith. So we are 100% American made. We're proud of that. And as I said, both brands are going strong.
I'm gonna ask you kind of a off the wall question here, just because I'm curious. But you say you're actually a foam manufacturer. What goes into manufacturing foam?
Yeah, so not to get too deep into the technical details, but there's 2 main liquid chemicals, if you will, that are the starting points. One's an isocyanate, and one's called the polyol. Okay, the polyol is what stays around and ends up forming the pretty complex molecule, the shape that is polyurethane foam. And then depending on the foam grade, what you're trying to accomplish, there's anywhere from 4 to 12 different additives that go in small amounts to achieve feel, density, color, whatever it may be. So those two base chemicals go into making the foam. And again, we do that in our own facility in Mount Airy. Different building than where we assemble the mattresses, but on the same campus.
Can you talk a little bit about the fact that you are manufacturing in the United States? Why did you guys plan to build here in the U.S. rather than overseas? What is the advantages for you guys to be, made in America?
Yeah, so we are a private company. Our parent, two steps up from BedInABox, then we have NCFI, and then we have our parent company, Barnhart Manufacturing. They were founded in the 1890s in the cotton industry, so we've been American-based from the very beginning. They made the strategic decision to get into polyurethane foam in the 60s, when polyurethane foam manufacturing became more advanced and was clearly going to be the premier choice for upholstered furniture. Up until that point, it was cotton batting and other materials. So when foam came about, they already had a presence in furniture as a supplier to the furniture companies. They didn't want to lose out, so they invested in the intellectual property of a gentleman up in Mount Airy, North Carolina, and we were off and running. From that point forward, everything just made sense. There are chemical components you can buy that are imported, and to be honest, there's some of those very small fractional components we do buy offshore, but the vast majority of the materials we use to make the foam are purchased and manufactured in North Carolina. So when we got into the bedding industry, it just made sense to continue to do that. So currently, all of our covers, 70% of our covers are sewn within a 2-hour drive of where we are right now. 70 to 80% of the fabric we use is knitted within a 2-hour drive, of where we are right now. But in terms of servicing the bedding market, and particularly the e-commerce bedding, being made in America allows us to, number one, have complete quality control over the product that we're selling. And two, allows us to be quick and nimble and get the product to the customers as quickly as possible. Hopefully, we have fewer supply chain issues than dealing with products coming from overseas, so we're able to provide that product there. And then lastly, we truly believe in employing and enriching other companies that are near us and supporting the local community. So all of our employees live in the local communities. And again, as I mentioned, our fabric and our cut and sew suppliers are fairly close to us, so we help promote those local communities as well.
All great reasons, and I'm sure the supply chain issue a few years ago that was hitting everybody else probably did not have the same effect on you guys because everything was so local to you.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing, the knitters still use imported yarn. So the yarn business in the U.S. is almost non-existent. It's just not like it used to. So, but the good thing about yarn is you could put on a plane and ship it over. Other than that, you're correct. Our supply chain was fairly uninterrupted. I'll say a couple months into COVID, when people started to somewhat relax and realize, okay, we're going to get through this and we're going to start to get back to normal. Our products were absolutely perfect for that. On the consumer side of things, residential side of things, you could buy a bed, have it at your doorstep in a couple of days, not have to leave your house and go visit that mattress store where dozens of other people had been today. And that government check I just got really is about the amount I need to buy a new mattress. Getting better sleep is better to get me through these times, be healthier. So it all fit. And then on the truck side of things and the RV side of things, first on the trucking side of things, with internal demand much bigger than it was before, as you guys well know, the demand for trucking inside the U.S. was just skyrocketing. And then we moved to people, the RV industry absolutely boomed for that 18 months following COVID. People would rather take their vacation inside their own controlled environment and go see Yellowstone, go see the Grand Canyon, do all that without having to get on a plane. So really a perfect storm. And again, already being set up to have local sourcing made it good for us. And 21 and 22 were really strong years in these segments.
Now, the Sleep Dog brand is the truck and RV mattress brand. Can you talk a little bit about the RV mattresses?
Yeah, so RVs actually our RVs are mattresses are one of the products that go to sort of both sides of the industry, or both sides of our company, excuse me. So both brands sell our RV versions. So again, from requests for customers, I got I got one of your mattresses for my house. I need one for my RV. Doing a little investigating when we first got into it, before bump outs became so popular in the RV segment, and RVs became bigger once you park them, right? Before that, everything was what we would call a short or a narrow version. So a short queen, which is basically 5 inches shorter than a standard queen, and then an RV king, which is a little narrower and a little shorter than a king. So we started with those, simply just added, it's the same exact design. All we needed to do was get with our cover supplier to cut a little bit different size cover. So we were off and running. So today we have a total of 6 different options for RVs, 3 on the BedInABox site, and then 3 on the Sleep Dog site. The Sleep Dog site, we literally take the same designs we have for the truck mattresses and make those into the special sizes. And then on the BedInABox side, same thing. 3 designs that we use in the residential and just make a different size. Now, we've also noticed that we are, just through to talking to people and reviews, we know that now our standard queens and our standard kings are actually being used in RVs as well, as there's a little bit more room. So you don't have to be as custom anymore to participate in the RV market.
And then as far as materials, Chris, it's the same as that what goes into residential. There's no special
Nope.
RVIA testing, fireproofing, or anything like that for it to be in a
There is.
vehicle.
All right, they're the same materials, exact same build. So if you're getting a bunk size Big Dog and you order an RV Queen in Big Dog, it's the exact same materials. Now, what's different between the testing required for an RV mattress or a truck mattress is a federal motor vehicle safety standard, and it's in our situation, it's an additional set of burns that have to be done to the materials. So that requires in a residential mattress, it's a composite test. You submit the mattress as you would sell it, complete. You send it to a certified lab. They set it on fire and see how long it takes to extinguish itself, how much smoke it puts off, how much heat it puts off. On the federal motor vehicle safety standard, you take each component that is built that's inside the mattress and you send them samples of each of those components, and they do a separate test on each of those. So in most cases, there's no required difference. In fact, the burn testing portion of the motor vehicle standard is less stringent than the burn portion of a residential mattress.
Interesting. I like what you said too, though. I would have never even thought about a smoke test to see how much smoke something put out. I would just think that they were looking to see the burn time.
Yep. Yeah. Burn time, smoke, and heat release are the 3 things that encompass everything that they're looking for.
Okay. Interesting.
It's kind of funny though, because I think the shell of the RV would burn much faster than you wouldn't have to worry about the mattress. You would already be gone, I think.
You are 100% correct. Now, all the components there supposedly will have passed the same type of test. Each component has a little bit different standard, and quite honestly, it's the same inside a house. Unless you're actually smoking in bed, there's other items, the curtains, the carpet, the upholstered furniture, other things in the house that are going to go up much quicker. But we have a standard that the federal government has set, and the Consumer Product Safety Commission have set. So we follow those very, very, very stringently. And there are labs set up throughout the U.S. that are designed specifically just for that type of testing.
going back to, I guess this would fall under quality control. How do you guys decide comfort of a mattress? Do you guys do, I don't know, surveys? Is it done by machines? How do you know how soft, how firm, and then how many choices are there for people to choose from?
Yeah, so great question. And again, I'll go back to the foam. Foam is going to be the key component in the market that we serve. It's even with a spring, it's always going to be the top layer. So we know from history the types of foams that feel good, the firmnesses, etc. So foams are tested every time we pour. That's the term we use. We call it pouring foam. Every time we pour a grade of foam, that foam is tested for various characteristics. In the bedding industry, you're mainly concerned about a couple of things. Number one would be density, so how much foam is there, right? So the more material per cubic foot, generally the better the foam is, and then there's firmness, and there are specific ASTM tests that you perform to confirm all of that. But to me, the most important thing is durability, and there are several different durability tests. So before we approve a foam to go into a mattress, we make sure that it meets our durability standards. Two reasons for that. One, we want the customer to get their money's worth. We want the foam to last a long time. And additionally, we're putting it under an additional stress of roll packing it and putting it into a box. But even more important is, as foam degrades over time, the feel changes. And the customer is going to have a different experience if it changes too much. Anybody who sits here and tells you their foam's going to be exactly the same 10 years after they make the bed that it was when they bought it is just not telling you the truth. So we try to design our foams that we use in our beds to maximize that length, that durability, so that the customer gets a long period of satisfaction out of that. And then proof is in the pudding. As I mentioned, our return rate, we have a 120-night sleep trial on both brands, and our return rate is less than 3% within that program. And that's by far the industry leading. So if we ever saw a rate go up significantly above that, then we dig deep and try to figure out what was causing that, and potentially make some changes to the foam. But that's our method.
In the manufacturing process, I, I'm assuming the foam is probably made in like bulk. So is it going down like an assembly line and being cut and then the covers put on? How does that process work?
Yeah, so we start with the foam, and we call them buns, and they look like giant loaves of bread, and they have a crust around them that's formed very thin, but it's formed as the foam cures, and the chemical reaction goes on. So generally, in basic foam, those are going to be, and certainly in bedding grades, they're going to be about 80 inches wide, and they're going to be anywhere from 20 to 42 inches tall, depending on the type of foam. The heavier the foam is, the more dense the foam is, the lower the height is going to be on that. And depending on your manufacturing process, those buns they'll be cut at anywhere from 30 to 80 feet, depending on your facility, depending on what your capabilities are. They then cure for a period of time, generally 48 hours at a minimum, where they're allowed to completely cure, and then they're tested. So we test after the process is done. So we make sure that all the properties are where you want to be. From there, then you chop into various lengths that make sense for bedding. So if it's 80 inches wide, I'm going to chop my queen buns at a 60-inch length, roughly. From there, then they're sliced horizontally to the thicknesses that particular model requires. So, and a typical bed is going to have anywhere from 2 to 4 different types of foam. So each grade of foam is independently sliced and stocked and stored. And as we build each type of mattress, we take some from rack A, some from rack B, and we glue them together. That gluing process is fairly automated. We have a giant roller that we pass the foam under, and it applies a very thin layer of glue. We only use water-based glue in our industry, and then it's layered up. Then that assembly, in our process, that assembly will do additional curing. We want to make sure that all the water and the glue has evaporated from a quality standpoint. And then we take that assembly, that sandwich, if you will, to a final trim saw that makes a perimeter around the bed and cuts that sandwich to the exact specifications that we need. So typically a queen bed, which is finished at 60 by 80, the foam core is going to be 59 and a half by 79 and a half. Once I then put the cover on, potentially a fire sock. So as we talked about the testing, some designs, because of the types of foams and materials that are used, and we put a fire sock on the foam, then the cover, and then it's roll packed, put in a box, and typically shipped within a couple of days of being put in the box.
Do customers have to once they take it out of the box and let it inflate, for lack of a better term, expand, I guess? Do they have to let it off gas at all because of the chemicals used?
That's a great question, and most of the off gassing is already done by the time that the bed is put in the box. If you
Okay.
think those curing times that I mentioned, and smell is very, very subjective, right? In different fragrances, something smells great to one person and is horrible to another. So, and also the beds are wrapped in plastic, and plastic does have some odor to it.
Yeah.
So in general, we tell people for also to get the bed fully decompressed and get it to its height, we tell them generally wait 24 hours. That's probably a little bit of overkill, but in most cases that solves both the decompression and any potential odor issues. And then we take odor into account when choosing raw materials. There are additives that help suppress certain odors, so we're very aware of that, and it's certainly on our list of FAQs that people look at and people ask us about. And so, great question, but generally in 24 hours we're good to go.
Okay.
Chris, I'm curious if you guys are working with any RV manufacturers. I know one of the first things a lot of people do is pull out the mattress that their RV came with, and they purchase a mattress from somewhere else and put it in there. Are you guys working with any RV manufacturers where your product is maybe coming right down the line, or on the dealer lot, so that when people are purchasing a new RV, they don't have to replace that the RV manufactured bed?
So we're on both the new builds and aftermarket with manufacturers. So as you well know, the RV side, even the manufacturers themselves have huge aftermarket businesses, whether it be upgrades, replacements, what have you. So yes, we're on both sides. I have contracts don't allow me to tell you who, but certainly you could figure it out. Yeah, we've business ebbs and flows too, so we've been involved with multiple of the big guys, and quite frankly, for inventory reasons, even when it goes into a new build, they ask for it to be rolled up and put in a box so they can store it on their shelves much more efficiently and have more of a just-in-time type of a setup there. So yeah, great question. We've worked with several of the truck stops, several of the repair facilities that we've put beds on the floor there. So when a trucker comes in and is getting his rig repaired, and he sees it right there and says, "Oh my gosh, I can have a brand new mattress. All I need to do is take this box out to the truck and open it up, and I'm ready to go." So on both sides of our business, we're in more than our direct to consumer space. We do a lot of private label, white label manufacturing within both the residential and the truck/RV industry as well.
And do you ship all across the U.S.?
Yeah, we do. All 48. We do, under special circumstances, do Hawaii and Alaska, but they end up paying more for the freight than they do for the bed. But yeah, all 48. We generally ship both sides of the business. We generally ship, I think our ship rate within 2 business days, our rolling 12 months is at 97%. And then from there, it's up to FedEx. So we ship FedEx ground as our standard. So that literally can be anywhere from 1 to another 5 days that it takes to get the bed. But so generally, I'd say we can blanket the U.S. and have the bed there within a week.
Okay, that's pretty fast. So if somebody orders on a Monday, they could have it by the following Monday.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And in a lot of cases sooner. Sooner. There are more popular models, so they order on Monday. If they order early on Monday, it might even ship Monday afternoon. But certainly on our popular models by Tuesday morning, it'll be on the way. And if depending on how many zones away they are from us, yeah, it's certainly by the following Monday without too much difficulty.
That's really good. And one of the advantages, I guess, that we didn't really speak on too much. You touched on it with the truck, but because the mattress comes in a box, it's easy to get through a door. It's easy for us to get it through an RV door. It's easy to get through the tractor trailer door, and then you set it up actually in your bedroom. You're not opening it and then trying to maneuver a large mattress through your doorway, through your kitchen, and into your bedroom.
Yeah, 100%. The conveniences are multiple, if you will, and that one, especially if you think about on the residential side, if you think about heavy urban environments where there's apartments and all that kind of stuff, heck, you can pick it up in the lobby, get it into the elevator, get it up to your place. Now, when you leave, you still have the same. You can't put it back in the box. But certainly getting it in, getting it installed, if you will, getting it set up in a truck or an RV situation, yeah, much easier. I mean, I can't imagine trying to get a queen size bed through a typical RV door. That's difficult. So yeah, and we actively pursue our customers for user content of setting the beds up, so we can fully illustrate to our prospective customers how easy it is, and we incent them with gift cards and such, and we have pretty good response rate of people going ahead and videoing how the bed comes out of the box and how it decompresses.
I know you've mentioned the return policy, but what's the warranty on your mattresses?
Yeah, so on the residential side, it's a 2010. So full warranty up till 10, prorated from 10 to 20. And on the truck side, again, different environment, harsher environment, especially with tandem trucking right now. That bed could be used twice as often as a regular bed. So we do a 510 on the truck models, 5 full, 10 prorated.
That's great. And then as far as like ordering and things like that, are you guys going to any of the RV shows, a Hershey show or a Tampa show? Are people able to see the Sleep Dog bed in person and purchase from a show, or is it only online purchasing?
It is only online. We've looked at and are considering doing some shows. We go back to the sleep trial as our method of giving the customer the assurance that the bed's going to meet their needs. It's going to be high quality, etc. So no, we don't, but we certainly we get approached by all of the shows to come and participate. We haven't yet. We're strongly considering. Obviously, when the general economy is slow, you look at other avenues to get your product out there. So I would say 2024 would have a higher chance of us being in person a couple places than we have in the past.
Okay.
For people that are interested in a Sleep Dog or Bed in a Box RV mattress, what are the best ways for them to find you guys?
Yeah, so bedinabox.com and sleepdogmattress.com. And there's links at the top of both that take you directly to our RV versions. It's pretty easy to navigate. Pretty proud of our website in that sense. We have size breakdowns on both sites to tell you exactly what is an RV queen, what is an RV king. There we have live chat. We man that during normal East Coast business hours, as well as our own personnel answer the phone. We have 800 numbers on both sites that you can call. We man those with our own people. So we insist on that. Sometimes it's, with the time difference, we can't always answer the phone when every customer, but we feel strongly that our people are answering the questions. They're inside the factory when they're answering those questions. So anybody has some hesitation, needs some further clarification, either the live chat or our 800 numbers are available.
And they can order right on
You
their
can order
sites
from
as
the
well.
yeah, order right on the site or order on the phone. Some people still feel a little bit better entering that information over the phone, giving it to a live person rather than typing in. We'll take them either way. All major credit cards. There is financing available for those that are interested in that as well. So we try to make it very easy to purchase.
And I think the fact that you guys are making these from every step of the way, the foam, everything from from step one all the way through, really sets you apart from other mattress companies that are also maybe putting mattresses inside a box and shipping. Is there anything else that maybe I'm missing that makes you guys stand out from those other companies?
Yeah, so in those same lines, we manufacture our foam, and in this market, so 90% plus of our models have memory foam in them, and we feel that that's one of our advantages. Not only do we manufacture it, but we feel we manufacture it better than anybody else. And especially in the RV and the truck scope of the market, you're more liable to be affected by outside temperatures, right, than you are at home. Obviously, you have air conditioning and heating in the rig and in the RV, but you're out on the road and you're more susceptible to that. And one of the downfalls of bad memory foam is that it gets really hard in the cold and it gets really mushy in the heat. So we've through our own proprietary formulations, we've tried to increase that range, and we have not tried. We have increased that range where our foam takes has to be a lot colder before it starts to feel hard, and a lot warmer before it starts to feel mushy. So we really feel that that's one of the main reasons our return rate is so low. So we call it Cool Rest is our type of our trademark foam that we use in all of these beds, and we feel that sets us apart from just about everybody else.
I didn't know that about memory foam, that it was temperature sensitive.
It's very temperature sensitive. That's what allows it to have its what we call in the industry slow recovery properties, right? That's the handprint. Tempur-Pedic really made that type of foam popular, and I could go back and tell you in the 60s we developed the formulation for memory foam long before Tempur-Pedic did. But that's a whole nother show. But yeah, it is temperature sensitive. There's certain chemical characteristics that allow it to be slow recovery, but again, then also make it temperature sensitive. So everybody's is temperature sensitive. It's about widening the range where it is what it is. And it goes back to quality and consistency we talked about, what sets us apart. We want that bed to feel exactly the same way for as long as possible. And that memory foam certainly contributes to that.
Yeah, I won't mention any competitors' names, but I have a competitor mattress, and it does exactly what you said. On cold days, our mattress is harder. On warmer days, it's softer. So yeah, I definitely feel that difference. Especially so for us, it comes into play on a travel day. We're driving. It's wintertime. The heat's not making it all the way to the back of the bedroom. That first hour, the bed is pretty solid, and it takes a little time for it to warm up once we park and set up the heat and stuff like that. So it does make a difference.
Yep.
Well, Chris, I think that's all of our questions, unless there's anything we missed or that you want to highlight.
Yeah, I want to go ahead and mention the special promo code we've created for your listeners. Beyond the Wheel, all one word. That will get your listeners an additional $50 off the lowest sale price on our website. We've got some Black Friday specials coming up on both sites. So Beyond the Wheel, either site, BedInABox.com, SleepDogMattress.com, additional $50 off, and that promo code will be good through the end of 2023.
Oh, that's great. We appreciate it, Chris. I'll put a little link in the show notes, letting people get right to that site, and then use that promo code, and you guys will get that discount.
Yeah. All right.
Well, thanks for your time. We really appreciate it.
We want to thank Chris for taking the time out of his busy schedule and chat with us and explain to us the difference between BedInABox and Sleep Dog. I also really enjoyed learning about the mattress building process and found it interesting to hear the testing process as well. We also really appreciate the discount code Beyond the Wheel, all one word, that will give you $50 off the lowest online price. And because you get a 10-year warranty and a 120-night test period, plus all the testing they do, you can buy with confidence knowing it's a quality product. We hope you enjoyed this episode, but before you go, we ask, could you leave us a review or rating on your favorite podcast platform? These really help us reach new listeners in the RV world. Take care all, and safe travels. Looking to get out there and stay out there? Battleborn Batteries lithium-ion batteries are here to power your RV, marine, and off-grid adventures. Designed as an easy drop-in replacement for traditional lead-acid batteries, these reliable solutions have 2 to 3 times the power, charge 5 times faster, are a fifth of the weight, and last 10 times longer. Offered in a variety of models in unique sizes and shapes, ranging from 50 amp hour to a robust 270 amp hour, and backed by a 10-year warranty. Battleborn batteries are built to fit your needs and power your experiences. On the road, on the water, and off the grid, reliable power is here. Check them out at battlebornbatteries.com. With the complexity of all the systems in an RV, I always say it's not if something's going to break, but a matter of when is something going to break. That is why I think an extended warranty for RVs is so important. We first interviewed wholesale warranties back in 2019 and immediately became impressed with how their policies worked, such as you can take your RV to any licensed repair shop, including mobile repairs. They also have personalized service plans, making sure you are getting the right policy for your needs. And if you think your RV is too old for a policy, you might be surprised to hear that RVs up to 20 years old can still be approved for a policy. That is more age lenient than most RV parks I've stayed at. Go to wholesalewarranties.com/beyond the wheel or click the link down below in our show notes to get your free quote today.